Hi guys, welcome back to George's Cameras TV, where today we'll be featuring the top 5 underrated products from both of these creative photographers. On my right here we've got Oliver, who is a lifestyle photographer, and on my left here we've got Felix from Germany, who is a beauty photographer. I'm excited to see what they've got to show you guys. Alright guys, both of you only have 30 seconds to describe each item that you would like to show, and the other person will be timing you.
Okay.
So,
is that 30 seconds of all the items, by the way?
or just 30 seconds for each item?
Each item, yeah. It's like, okay, I gotta explain all of this. They do stuff. Yes.
That's pretty much it. Alright, we're done. Nah, 3, 2, 1, go.
I have the Teta tooth cable with a 2 times USB-C for tethering in the computer, because I always shoot in the computer in studio to see what I get, because on the camera,
Yeah, same. Otherwise it's too hard. You miss little things and then it's like, oh crap.
yeah, and I like to work on the pictures while I'm shooting already and put some styles on it, and my clients see the pictures better. That was it.
Yeah. Boom.
That was
really
it.
Good. That was really good. Even with me interrupting.
And go.
Boom. I've got clamps. They're useful for a lot of things, really versatile. I will often use them to hold polyboard up so you can bonk them and keep stuff upright. They're good for holding cables. Honestly, just really versatile tool to have on set, especially if you just need something, you're struggling to hold something against something else. I'd say the biggest advantage of these though is the ability to just kind of find uses for them for everything. Whether it's holding torches up, which I'll often do, I'll clamp them through there, or whether it's cables. Yeah.
Why do you buy the expensive ones?
These are $14. Not expensive.
Really?
Yeah. The ones at Bunnings are $12. It's the same price.
You will need them. You will need them.
They last.
Yeah, right.
We sell these.
I don't have those in my pocket, because for travel you don't, but in every studio you have those.
I've got small ones as well. I just think they're an important tool, and no one knows that they even exist, you know? Like, often people go, oh, like, why would you, what, like, they're the worst, when you don't have them, they're the worst thing not to have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
After my next item.
Yeah.
You will see.
Oh.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1, boom.
Maybe you don't expect this one, but you need duct tape, or use a gaffer tape.
Yeah.
Because duct tape leaves traces.
Yeah.
And you need it for simply everything, to put marks or stick things together, and especially with that, because I don't want you to pull my computer off the table, I always tape it on the table that I cannot pull it off, or whatever. 1,000 things. And if you have something, but I have to show it. If you have something on your pullover or on your shirt, just do it like that, like you did before, and then you can put everything off and you get clean. Yeah. So easy. Yeah. So good for everything.
Really useful stuff for almost anything. It's like, it's one of those things though, it's like when you don't have it, it's the worst.
When you have that, you don't need clamps. No joking.
I'd say I want both, but I'm glad we both picked different ones. All right, you had double the time, so my next one.
Go.
Boom. Now, for portraits, everyone talks about the CPLs for landscapes, but for portraits, these are really good. The main reason I like them is to remove shine from people's foreheads.
What is this?
CPL, circular polarizer. So the big thing I find is if I'm shooting anyone outside or anyone anywhere, often you get shine on the head. It just removes distracting reflections, and it just means less time in post, and I am all about that. Most people use them for landscapes, like I said, but really good for portrait stuff. Boom.
Bam.
You ever use them?
I don't use them.
No?
No.
You gotta try it.
Because you know why? Because I like the glowing.
Do you like the glow?
I work with the glowing, actually. I'm a beauty photographer. So if you put that on, you don't have the glow anymore.
You can feather it. You can feather it. Often I go halfway, like because
you can turn it.
Yeah, you can, because it turns. You go halfway, so you can get half the glow, just so it's not too much shine. Like I really like using them. Sometimes I don't.
But you should take care that you don't buy a cheap one, because otherwise your glass is half worth then.
Yeah.
I guess.
Sharpness.
How much does that cost?
This is a good one. This is a nifty one. They're like 200 bucks.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, not too bad. And go.
Music box, Bluetooth box. I love those ones because they have to be waterproof, because when you shoot on the beach, you need some music. Most of the people forget about it, and just the phone is not enough because the waves are too loud. And with music, everything's a bit more fun.
Yeah, it gives it a vibe.
Can I keep those 15 seconds for my next item?
You want to add more time to the next one?
No, that's really, you really need that one. I guess you will have one as well.
Yeah, I use one as well. But I didn't even consider bringing it because I think that's the thing. It's one of those things I don't even think about. But it does really control the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you forget about that, shooting gets really weird. When you have no music at all, it's so silent.
Yeah.
Especially when they do makeup and you have no sound around, bit weird. Let's go.
I'm gonna bring the big one.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah. Put that in your. That's in your backpack?
Yeah, definitely. Now, on shoots, I think CStands are great, especially if you don't have assistants. They're good for holding polyboard. They're good for reflecting light. The biggest thing is it's just the angle of this. Because the big thing is if you don't have a CStand, you just got a regular light stand, you just can't put stuff at the same angle. You can't get it nice and close to people. I just rate these so much. And a lot of people don't realize just how good they are.
Is nobody coming to you and asking for a permission or something if it looks too professional?
Well, I mean, I'm talking for in studio, absolutely. On location, I tend to just use my next item. We'll get there.
Okay, so I'm ready for my next one.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go. Bam! I bought it here in George twice actually, because I sent my other one back to Germany.
I think I sold you this
one.
one.
You sold me? Yeah. Best decision. It's really good. I love. It's just a light tripod, but I love the closure like that, because it's just one grip and you just pull it off. That's it. And it's really small. It's really light, and you need it for nearly everything where you need a stand.
Especially good for laptops as well. If you've got your laptop on it, if you've got a digi stand, just really versatile tool. I don't even think I can set this up quickly enough.
And go.
So these come in a different configuration. I am just using it in its standard. I'm not even gonna get it up in time. This is a Lastalite Scarlett Rapid. The reason I like this is it's a 1x1 diffuser. So it's basically just the reason I went this over the circular is I can lean this up against
I don't know that one.
It's so good. It's rigid. So it means if they come in different sizes. I use a 2x1 personally, but the 1x1 was just easy to carry up.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's so good. I use a 1x2 normally, but it's if you're backlighting, it's pretty quick to set up, despite the fact it's like.
And you have a kind of a background as well, white background.
Yeah.
Not too bad. A bit big, I would say.
I love it. I like big because for reflections.
Yeah, but when you travel, what do? You don't carry all of that stuff.
I just stick it in the car. Well, I do take this to the beach a lot for beach shoots. But yeah, I love this.
Somebody sold me that on George's.
Yep.
But you know what? You need it's actually a 5-side reflector. I cheat a bit, but no worries. It's a 5-side reflector. You can.
Should I be timing you? Oh, there we go. Now we can go. See?
5-side reflector. You have silver, you have white, you have gold, black, and a diffuser in the middle.
Yeah.
I could open it here. The one thing what is important, it's not on that one. You need a grip on the side, because otherwise, like you have, otherwise it's hard to hold when it's windy.
Yeah.
But I would prefer this to your diffuser.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to carry that much, especially on travel or whatever.
I like the reason I like the 1x2, so that's a 1x1, but I prefer the 1x2 mainly because I just want to go full length. I find with the smaller ones, it's just really hard to get control. I'm guessing you mainly use it to pop underneath the eyes sort of thing? What do you use it for?
I use it for...
Everything?
No, I want the model to be in the shade.
Yeah.
I don't only use the reflector, I use the whole thing that no light comes through because I want the model to be as dark as possible and to light everything up.
Yeah.
That's how I do the pictures.
Yeah,
Most of the people just use it as a reflector because you can use it for so many different things.
Yeah.
especially what people don't think about. Normally, I have also a blanket with me, like a white, how you see the bat sheet, huge bat sheet, and you can do use it as backdrop. You can use it to put makeup on it or stuff or whatever, and that's what, or to change the model or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the big thing for me is I just like bigger, because I find bigger is just, you don't have to worry about the control as much. But I'm
bigger is better.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, it's not about the size, it's about the technique.
But yeah, I use both, but I thought, I just don't think anyone, because I think everyone knows those. I think the rigid ones, I find that no one knows they exist.
Do you have the possibility to enlarge it with if
no,
you buy
not that
extra
one.
stuff?
No, there's a one. So I use a 1x2. So there's one the size of this table, and I love that because it's like perfect for almost everything.
Right. That's how I would use. In Berlin, I have one which is, you know, those huge ones. They're 2 meters by 2 meters.
Yeah.
And then you put it on, and this is when you want to have daylight with strobes.
Yeah, exactly.
Or when you want to have similar light, something like that.
So I mean, they do a 2x2 and a 3x3 as well. But the nice thing is, because it's bungee, you can do it on your own rather than needing like 2 assistants to set it up.
I'm too mobile here.
Yeah. That's because you're a traveler, you're a tourist, and I'm a local. Light meter. Now, I love light meters mainly because often it's really confusing what the light's doing, and if you want to light an environment, I find it really nice to actually, before you stick your model in and everything, kind of get an idea of what your setting should be, how bright it is, because light intensity is really hard to sometimes see and figure out. So I really love, just gives me a better idea. It gives me an idea of what I should do to kind of set up my scene, and I'll often just walk around in timing mode and go blah, 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 and figure it out. Boom.
You know that you have a light meter in the camera as well?
Yeah, I do.
Why do you use that? I wouldn't use that. Maybe because I'm too stupid to use it, that's possible, but
okay, so
I wouldn't spend so much money just to...
The big thing is it's incidental versus spot. So this, when I say that, so incidental is the light coming back at you, so it's the light reflected. So the light value reflected back at you is different from the light value actually hitting this thing. Yeah. Because it's getting from where your meter is. So I think the other thing is, especially for different skin colors, if you're not used to it, it can often be hard to meter for darker objects, because you know, if you shoot something black, often it'll overexpose or overcompensate. So I find the best way to get
That's why I have this.
Yeah. Often I find I will still come back to this. It's just a good check. I would rather just nail it. And I started as an assistant.
I would love to see a shooting where you use that and you really need it. Because I would always say, well, I can shoot in the camera. I see a lot in there, especially when you have a mirrorless. You can look through and you see a lot of things. You have the histogram and stuff. Or you shoot in the computer and you can control everything there. And it's way more, sometimes it has to be over or underexposed and you have to calculate still.
I find in studio, the biggest thing is if I'm doing like a multi-light setup, I want to figure out what's going on. And Ryan's calling me, sorry. Thanks, Ryan. Stop it, that's my boss. I want to figure out what's going on in the situation. I basically want to go and do additive lighting. So I'll do a third of the stop for the background first, then I'll get that in. Then I'll do the side light, and I'll do that at a third of the stop, like a third under where I need to be. And then I'll do the main light at probably about only 30%, so I can bring them up. And this gives me the ability to meter that straight in versus kind of like, but I was trained that way. I trained as a commercial assistant for 5 years. So that's the way because I grew up that way, doing it that way, it's very much, the other thing I find as well is like lights with different intensities. Like if you're using like a beauty dish, and then you're using a softbox, like a big softbox, there's just such different light sources that often I will find myself going and having one overcompensate for the other, whereas this means that I'm getting true values.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always teach the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, because I learned it by doing, and I said, try to do everything the wrong way.
Yeah.
to know what's the wrong way. And then you get a feeling of where do you have to go. So now I'm really quick in shooting everything manual. I cannot even work in half automatic because it always do something different that I want to, and it.
No, I'm the same way. I guess that's the thing. It's how we were trained, and I think both approaches are really valid and they both work well. But for me personally, I love using something like this because it just, especially if I feel like my work's not quite where I want it to be, this is a quick way to look at why.
I bet you get paid per hour because it takes so long.
No, I'm really quick with this. This makes me quicker. Honestly, I only use this if I'm feeling like I'm being slow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would really see to work with that because everything I saw was like, well, doesn't make sense for me, especially right now, because it made sense when everything was analog and maybe the start of the digital, but right now I don't see really the thing because I don't know, because I'm not trained or maybe
haven't done it
too
that way.
stupid to use it.
Nah.
But well, maybe we can try it one day.
I'll come along to one of your shoots. So
cool.
You come along to one of mine.
We'll do so. That was our 5 items.
Yeah, that was. Well, that's a wrap for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did, putting all that together, discussing in terms of the 5 underrated products from both of these creative photographers.
Thanks so much, guys. Like and subscribe, and of course, jump to our Instagram for frequent giveaways.
You read this sentence right now?
Yep.
This small sentence? Leave a comment below. That's what you missed. Or leave a 1 below if you use a light meter, or 2 if you don't.
Or 3, did you even know what a light meter was? Because I didn't.
And now you can say it in German.
Yeah.
Vielen Dank fürs Einschalten.
Vielen Dank fürs Einschalten.
Perfect. Ihr Zuckerpuppen.
Ihr Zuckerpuppen.
That's it.
That's a wrap.